Hey everyone. So last night the Washington Capitals won 6-2 over the Vegas Golden Knights in Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final, and they now have a commanding 3-1 lead in the series. And it looks like the Capitals are going to win their first Stanley Cup. Um, Washington has looked dominant in this series as a whole, especially the last three games. Um, game one was a real shootout, and it was not how normal playoff games are played in the NHL. There was tons of goals, lots of back and forth action and scoring, but the rest of the series has been much more normal and much more like a regular playoff series goes, and Washington has dominated in the last few games. Um, Vegas to me just looks tired. They look absolutely spent, out of gas, done. Um, and we've seen that multiple times with multiple different teams throughout these playoffs. When Nashville lost in the second round to Winnipeg, I thought Nashville looked gassed and just done, tired, fatigued. And then when Winnipeg lost to Vegas in the conference final, I thought Winnipeg looked fatigued. Over in the East, when Washington beat Tampa Bay, I think Tampa Bay looked really, really fatigued by the end of that series and just out of gas. And now it seems like it's Vegas's turn to be out of gas. They've had a heck of a playoff. They've obviously had an incredible season, but I just don't think they have any more left in the tank. Washington is overpowering them. Vegas's speed has been a non-factor so far. They have not done a good job getting in on the forecheck and causing turnovers. They have not been able to finish any of their chances off well enough. I mean, God, the posts and open nets missed last night for Vegas were unreal. None worse than the James Neal one in the first period, where he literally had the entire net to shoot at, and he missed and hit the post. I mean, you cannot do things like that and expect to win a series. It just doesn't work. You have to score when you get a chance to score. And Vegas has not done that at all. And they look tired. They look frustrated. And I think they're done. They might win Game 5 at home. Being back in Vegas could give them a big enough boost to take that game. But I think overall they're done. There is no way they're winning 3 in a row. They'll probably lose it in 6 when it goes back to Washington. Washington, on the other hand, they've been unbelievably good. They've been extremely physical. They've played with plenty of team speed. They've capitalized on their chances, no pun intended. But they've scored goals when they needed to score goals. They've gotten big goals from some of their best players. They've gotten help from role players like Brett Connolly and Devontae Smith-Pelly, Alex Ovechkin, Evgeny Kuznetsov, Nick Backstrom, John Carlson, TJ Oshie. Those guys, their core group, their best players, have been their best players, not only in this series, but all playoffs long. And that's a huge key in being successful. Your best players have to be your best players. And those guys have absolutely lived up to their potential so far in these playoffs, and it looks like it's going to win them a Stanley Cup. And Braden Holtby, there is not enough I could possibly say for Braden Holtby and what he's done in these playoffs and in this series for Washington. He has been their backbone. He has been incredibly, incredibly good. He stopped every puck that he needed to stop. He's made some massive, massive saves, none bigger than that stick save in Game 2 that I think completely changed this series around. I think if that puck goes in, Vegas ends up winning that game, and this is a totally different series. But he made that incredible save, and that completely changed everything. And now Washington has a 3-1 lead, and it looks like they're well on their way to winning the Stanley Cup. So Holtby has been incredible all playoffs long for Washington. I would give the Conn Smythe to Holtby. I think Ovechkin is going to get it. I think Evgeny Kuznetsov has a very strong case for it. I would give it to Braden Holtby because without him in goal, I don't think the Capitals make it this far, and they certainly don't have a 3-1 lead in this series without Braden Holtby playing at the incredibly high level that he is playing at. So the finals aren't over yet. We've still got Game 5 to go and maybe more, but it certainly seems like Washington is well on their way to hoisting the cup. I've said that I was rooting for Vegas going into that, but that was not a knock against Washington. I have nothing against them. I'm just a bigger Vegas fan, but I will be really, really happy to see Alex Ovechkin hoist the Stanley Cup, and the Capitals absolutely deserve it with the way that they've played. They've been incredibly, incredibly good in these playoffs. They look incredibly hungry. They're incredibly emotional, and They really, really want it badly, and it looks like they're going to get it. So we'll have to wait and see what happens in Game 5. But Washington is in a really, really good spot now. Vegas needs to work some kind of miracle if they want to pull this out. I just don't see it happening at this point. So like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. Check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links in the description below. Spread the word about this channel. Almost up to 200 subscribers now. So thank you guys very much for that. Keep the subscriptions coming. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and talk to you guys soon.